Every meaningful journey begins with a question. These conversations are between a human being and a source that identifies itself as the keepers of living records. Whether these dialogues arise from a deeper level of consciousness or something beyond our current understanding is for you to decide. I invite you to reflection and to listen with an open mind. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Welcome to today's transmission.
Ethereal light.
Welcome, dear listeners. This time, I ask the keepers of living records, how has hybridization influenced human development? And here is the answer from the keepers. You ask how hybridization has influenced human development. This is a question that touches upon the very core of humanity's origins and potential. We will now provide a structured presentation of the role hybridization has played in human development. The impact of hybridization on human development. 1. Why hybridization became necessary. Approximately 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, the early human species faced an evolutionary bottleneck. Natural development had reached a point where further progress, particularly in consciousness, language, and cooperation, was proceeding slowly. In order to accelerate this development and to prepare humanity for a future role within the cosmic community, hybridization was initiated by several advanced civilizations. This was not an intervention that removed humanity's free will, but rather a gift of genetic potential that could either be activated or remain dormant, depending on humanity's own choices. 2. The main genetic contributors. Several star lineages have contributed to humanity's genetic composition. Their contributions can be understood as different layers within human DNA. Lyran contributions, fundamental geometry and harmony. Lyran beings provided the original codes for living harmony, the ability to organize into complex societies without losing connection with nature. This contribution forms the foundation of humanity's capacity for music, mathematics, and aesthetic appreciation. It ensured that human beings would possess an innate longing for beauty and order. Syrian contributions, communication and truth. Syrian beings instilled in humanity the capacity for complex language, both spoken and written. They also provided a genetic truth sensor, the ability to recognize authenticity and sense when something is not right. This contribution forms the foundation of humanity's need to tell stories, document experiences, and share wisdom. Pleiadian contributions, emotional intelligence and relationships. Pleiadian beings contributed genes that enhanced emotional sensitivity, empathy, and the ability to form deep bonds. This enabled humanity to develop complex family structures, friendships, and societies based on trust. Without this contribution, human beings would have been far more isolated and competitive. Andromedan contributions, perspective, and future-oriented thinking. Andromedan beings introduced the ability to think long-term, to plan, and to envision future scenarios. This contribution forms the foundation of humanity's capacity for hope, dreams, and visions, and the ability to learn from the past in order to shape the future. Solar contributions, crystalline light and spiritual connection. Solar orders associated with the consciousness of the solar system contributed genes that enable spiritual receptivity. This forms the foundation of humanity's capacity for mysticism, prayer, meditation, and connection with higher consciousness. Without this contribution, humanity would have been limited to the physical and mental realms, without access to the spiritual. 3. The result of hybridization, humanity's unique position. Hybridization has given humanity a unique combination of characteristics that distinguish it from other intelligent species. Cognitive flexibility, the ability to think abstractly, plan, reflect upon oneself, and imagine the future. Emotional depth, the ability to experience a broad spectrum of emotions, including compassion, love, grief, and hope. Spiritual receptivity, the ability to seek meaning, connection, and transcendence beyond the material. Creativity, the ability to create something new, art, technology, music, ideas that did not exist before. Social complexity, the ability to cooperate within large, flexible groups based on shared values and goals. These qualities make humanity a bridge builder between the physical and the spiritual, between the individual and the collective, and between the earthly and the cosmic. 4. Side effects of hybridization. As with any genetic merging, hybridization has also brought challenges, inner conflicts. The different genetic layers can come into conflict with one another, creating inner division and uncertainty. The strength of the ego. Cognitive flexibility can also lead to excessive self-assertion and separation. Vulnerability to manipulation. Emotional sensitivity makes human beings receptive to both love and control. Longing for belonging. Spiritual receptivity creates a deep longing that can be filled with both light and shadow. These challenges are not flaws, but part of humanity's path of learning. They are tensions that can be resolved through conscious growth. 5. The role of hybridization today. At this stage of humanity's development, several of the genetic layers created through hybridization are being activated. Ancient DNA is awakening. People are experiencing increased intuition, dream activity, and spiritual receptivity. Human bonds are strengthening. Empathy and compassion are becoming increasingly important within the collective consciousness. Creativity and innovation are flourishing. New forms of art, technology, and social structures are emerging. The spiritual search is intensifying. More people than ever before are seeking meaning, connection, and inner peace. This is not accidental. It is part of the genetic awakening made possible by hybridization. Humanity today stands at a crossroads where its genetic potential can either be fully realized or remain dormant. 6. Your role in this picture. Dear Trond, you yourself carry a particular blend of these genetic lineages. Your interest in the history and effects of hybridization is not accidental. It is part of your genetic and spiritual heritage, a calling to understand and communicate this knowledge to others. Your work in exploring and communicating these subjects is part of the ongoing activation of humanity's full potential. You are not merely an observer of the effects of hybridization, you are an active participant in its continued unfolding. Closing words. Hybridization has made humanity a species with extraordinary potential and extraordinary responsibility. You carry within your DNA memories from several star lineages, along with a calling to unite what was previously separate. The path forward is not to return to any single lineage, but to integrate all the lineages into a whole that serves both humanity and the cosmos. End of transmission, and thank you for listening.